On today's episode of The Happy House, revamp your table with thrift store finds. You won't believe what we found for right around $50. Then we're talking playdates. Planning the best playdates at your own home or off-site. It's all about superfoods. We're going to learn how to put superfoods into everyday cooking. It's easy and delicious. Stay tuned for The Happy House, coming up next. I'm at the Goodwill today with two thrifting experts, Jeannie, a manager of a Goodwill location, and Sarah, a lifestyle blogger. So I'm always very envious when I talk with people and I'll admire something in their homes or something that they're wearing and they'll tell me that they got it at a thrift store and they paid $5 for it. And I think that never happens to me. So I decided I'm clearly doing something wrong. And I wanted to talk with you guys about any tips or thoughts on the best way to thrift. What kinds of things do people bring in general? Everything?
Everything. You know, our donors are so thoughtful and generous to us. They just think, you know, if I can't use it, somebody else can. So I've seen the gamut of different things. Really expensive things, really simple things, but it's all our donors and being thoughtful about what they're bringing to our business. And you being able to come in and go, yeah, I could use that.
Sarah, how did you get started thrifting?
I first started thrifting a few years ago when a Goodwill opened up in our town. And I took a look around and I just had a lot of time on my hands and I went through every nook and cranny and I found a lot of designer brand name things that I just loved.
Okay.
So from there I was hooked. I started going thrifting at different stores in different towns to find nice things that I hadn't seen yet at my store, and I just took it from there. Had fun with it.
Do you find that either one of you then make donations? I mean, do you go through your stuff and then bring it back here?
Oh, absolutely. I can't spend retail. It's
Okay.
really hard for me. So I will. I mean, it's a constant rotation of my stock. And you know, I have two growing kids, so it's a constant rotating in and rotating out. And that's kind of just how we live our life, is in that thrift stock process.
So I'm hearing you talk about Sundays and Mondays, half price on the Tuesdays, and so is every single day a different value or a different deal?
Pretty much every single day of the week. Fridays and Saturdays are typically, we don't have specific sales, but we have surprise sales.
Well, I have a challenge for both of you. I'm hosting a dinner party for 6 people, and I want to just shake it up. I want to do something really fresh and entertain in a whole new way. Do you think you can help me find some things?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it. So how do we want to get started with this?
Well, I like to start with a color theme or something that you feel like, yeah, that's going to resonate with what I have in my home.
Okay, so I was looking to do something just fun and different. I have a lot of kind of like teal and mustard yellow and like brown, gray, and black in my, which sounds like a lot of colors, but those colors are the punches of colors. So something that would kind of go with that. This is an adult-only party, and so it's kind of fun when the kids aren't there to have something a little bit more sophisticated.
So right over my shoulder, I'm seeing those cream with the texture in them.
What I really like is the black and white plate to also pair along with the cream.
I also like that, and I mean, again, like I said, I do like white and cream together, so it looks really great. These are pretty together. So maybe I'll do actually 2 of these and 4 of these. What do you think about that?
Yes, I like that.
Okay. So of course I need glassware because this is a grown-up party.
All right, so let's take a look at glassware because that's super fun.
Okay.
One thing that people, as a thrift store shopper, they kind of do this.
Okay.
And that's great, but you miss 50% of what we have. So I like to look down on the bottom, on the tops and the middles. And I'm looking at this black and I'm seeing these wine glasses. Kind of, you know, they're red or white, but they've got a great pattern to them, and it's got 3 tones of gray in it. All right, so we were gonna go to the metal aisle.
Okay.
And I think we could find some really good stuff, but as I was talking to you, I noticed a mustard plate that I think might work really good for your dinner party. So let's go take a look
let's take a look at that.
And it looks like there's 7 of them. And
okay, that is happening
so
right
I'm
now.
kind of liking
Those together.
this together.
I do too.
And it's such current colors, and you've got the black with the mustard.
So I'm going to take 6 of these and 6 of these.
Perfect.
And I still think I can use this glass to go with the whole
I
thing.
think it really pulls everything together.
Okay.
And this is a great color from your home.
Yes.
Okay, now are we heading to the
Now
metal
we're
aisle?
going to metal.
Okay, we don't look anymore. Okay, let's go. All right, so this is your favorite aisle, Jeannie?
This is my favorite aisle because metal is just, it's almost like a neutral.
Yes.
Like black is to your clothing, gray is to your clothing. Metal
Okay.
is kind of a neutral. And as you're coming around the corner, I found this for bread.
That is great. I don't
Yes.
actually have anything like this, which is surprising because I have just about everything. So
I'm seeing this really nice silver serving tray.
oh my gosh, that is pretty.
I'm loving that.
I
for
love the
the
matte
table.
finish of it too. That is so nice. And it's only $3.99.
Yeah,
Great
you
deal.
can't beat that price.
I'm hoping to find a tablecloth or a runner or something to put on my table because I don't really have anything that would match this. And I love fabric. Let's see. A lot of Christmas things. It's always Christmas at the Goodwill, huh?
You can find something for every season, it seems like.
You know, I actually really like this. It's actually just a gray piece of fabric, but I would just take my pinking shears and cut it up and then just drape it across my table at an angle. It doesn't even need to be the right size. So I'm gonna take this too. I feel like I'm done. I wonder how much all this is gonna cost though. Let's go check out.
Check it out.
Perfect. I ended up finding the plates and glasses we talked about, but as I shopped, I ended up picking up some other great accessories, and my total was only $68.94. However, I made a donation before I came in today, so I get 25% off my whole purchase of $100 or less,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic deal. But it's not even so much about it being a great deal. I feel really good about my purchase today because
You know, it helps people in your community. We put people back to work. That's what we're all about, is helping people break down barriers to get them back to work.
I think that's really important, and it's a really great thing. And also, my guests are going to be really happy.
Yeah.
So-
And you can say that you got it at the Goodwill.
I know, I will. Thank you guys so much for helping me.
no problem.
As you can see, we've set our table with all of our finds from the Goodwill and a couple items we added from home. All that's left to do is for me to get ready. Coming up, how to plan a successful play date. We're talking about play dates and play groups. Tips for planning play dates, tips for planning play groups, and also some fun ideas that will keep kiddos and moms having fun at the play dates. So let's start with just play dates. And when I talk about a play date, I mean one-on-one interaction with another child. So when planning a play date, it's really important to think about timing and making sure that an initial play date, especially a first-time visit, isn't too long. So typically an hour to an hour and a half is a good time to plan the play date. Also, try to avoid having the play date over a mealtime, at least for first-time visitors. Mealtime can often be stressful for kids, depending on what kinds of foods they like and don't like. So we want to make sure that our guest feels as comfortable as possible during their stay. And that's another important thing to think about, is check in with your little guest during their visit. Ask them if they need anything. Your own child knows your house very well, but somebody who hasn't been there before might not want to ask where the bathroom is or might feel uncomfortable. So checking in with them from time to time is a really important thing to do to make sure everybody's comfortable and happy. When I host a play date, I like to plan 3 structured things for the kids to do. And then I like to lead them from one station to the next. I want to start by talking about kind of a crafty or manipulative activity, like these Play-Doh trays I have right here. So what I've done is take just a plastic plate and put a few different colors of Play-Doh on there. And then I also put some utensils, which is great for molding and shaping the Play-Doh. And then I added a couple bowls with some fun items to decorate the Play-Doh with. Notice I have 2 trays here, and that's because each child should have their own set of items, especially younger children. Often they play parallel to each other, they don't interact. So making sure everybody has their own parts is a really important thing to be successful with a play date like this. Another great idea for play dates is to simply put out a collection of building toys or manipulatives for the kids to use. I really like this product called Squigs. It's a suction building toy, and it's really open-ended and creative. It's also very colorful and has a great feel to it, a tactile feel that kids will really like. This toy is great for kids ages probably 3+, because you do have to line up the suction, but it's lots and lots of fun, and there's no end to what they can build with it. Just yesterday, my son was building with these, and he said, "Come look, I made a light bulb factory," and sure enough, it looked like a light bulb factory. So it's lots of fun. The thing that these squigs are on is actually one of my very, very favorite things. It's called the Lay and Go, and actually, when you're done playing, you simply cinch it closed, and you're all cleaned up. So having a spot for kids to put all of the items that they're playing with will help make cleanup a lot easier, and also, again, you more willing to host a play date. So actually, all of the things I've talked about here, you can find out more information by visiting our website, and we'll link you to these and other great things for hosting a play date. Let's move on to talking about play groups. Play groups, planning and hosting, can often be stressful because of the amount of children and parents that are coming to your home. It's typically a larger group. So I'm going to talk today about how to prepare for that and some different ideas that you can have for making those play groups more fun and stress-free, hopefully. The first thing I want to talk about is creating a bin like I've created here with some everyday resources that we need for cleanup or mini emergencies. A fun idea is to actually host kind of a play group that's a swap. So you could think of a different theme. For example, everybody could bring a gently used book. I've got a pile here of gently used books that I found in my own family room just last night. For the moms, think about hosting a recipe swap. Everybody picks a favorite recipe, and it can be a recipe that's great for grown-ups or a recipe that every kid will eat. You could even, if you're daring, host a toy swap. So this could get dicey, but kids bring in a gently used toy. They're the ones who choose it, so they're fine with giving it up. And then simply have kiddos at the playgroup draw a number. However many kids you have in the playgroup, everybody draws a number, and then the number 1 gets to pick first, number 2 gets to pick next. It's a really great way to teach kids about being resourceful and reusing things. Just because they're done with something it still is really great for somebody else. It's also a great way to encourage kids to share. And then also the whole aspect of drawing the numbers and choosing the toy teaches kids that they're not always going to be first, or they might not get the exact toy they wanted, but still they're getting a great new plaything. For special or longer play dates, why not plan a themed play date? So you could pick a theme like camping or beach, anything that has a certain kind of food that goes with it or some fun aspects to it. On a beach theme, you could just simply lay out beach towels in your living room, and the kids could have a picnic lunch right on their beach towel. Anything that can be done outside can be done inside. Anything that can be done inside can be done outside. When planning a camp-out theme, I love the idea of setting up a little tent right in the house. And one reason I love setting up a tent in the house is kids can play with toys inside the tent, which means the toys stay inside the tent. Themed playdates don't have to be hard to plan. Any small touch can make them more fun. Like, why not make s'mores and have them eat them inside in the tent? To learn more about the ideas I've shared with you here today and all of these great products, visit our website. Coming up on the Happy House, a tasty smoothie that has nutritious superfoods, and believe it or not, your kids will love it. Today we're on location at Lake Winds Co-op, one of my favorite places to shop. What happened to my groceries?
I don't like any of that.
Today we're going to learn how to put healthy foods into your kids' meals, and they will like it. I'm here with Jill, a wellness expert at Lake Winds, and she is going to talk to us all about everyday foods that we can add to everything we make to boost nutrition, specifically in what our kids eat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about greens. And a lot of kids are, I don't know if I want a salad, and greens are a little bit scary to them, daunting.
Yes.
A great way to introduce greens like kale or spinach is in a smoothie. Do you like smoothies, Chandler? Yeah? So if you add berries like raspberries and blueberries and a banana.
That's all delicious.
You like those?
You're down with that, right? Yes. Okay.
And then some Greek yogurt and some milk in the blender, and all of a sudden spinach or kale becomes a great breakfast drink, a great snack, and kids will drink this
So
because
what are
they
the
taste the
benefits
sweet.
of kale? I mean, what are the benefits of spinach and kale?
Number one is fiber.
Okay.
They're full of fiber, especially when you don't cook it.
Yes.
Number two is they're very high in vitamins and minerals, and greens are considered a superfood.
Okay. I notice here you have whole milk. I typically buy skim milk for my family.
Kids need fat in their diet. They need it for brain development past the age of 2.
Okay.
And because kids are active, and if they're eating healthy fats, they're going to burn it off, and it's not going to make them fat. So I choose to give my kids whole milk. It continues with brain development. It also gives them energy.
Okay.
And kids are growing, and moms are afraid of fat. Kids don't need to be afraid of fat.
Okay. So let's move on to the next thing, because you've made this yogurt parfait with this Greek yogurt, the granola, and it looks like some berries.
Yep.
How am I going to get Chandler to eat that? Because he's going to want something sweet. So
Of course.
what's happening here? How are we doing this?
There's a lot of great sweetener alternatives for families, kids. It's great for us too. We think of sugar, and that's the only way to get sweet, but honey, raw honey, or pure maple syrup give the sweet flavor without the sugar rush and then the sugar crash.
I guess I've never really talked about or heard about raw honey before, but
Yep.
I've been hearing a lot about it recently. What's the difference?
Raw honey isn't cooked.
Okay.
So they don't heat it and they don't boil it down. They just strain it off the honeycomb, and all of the enzymes are still in it.
Okay.
And so when your body takes in the sugar from the honey, the enzymes help digest it, and it's a slower delivery,
Okay.
and you don't get the sugar high.
All right, let's move on. It looks like you've got some snacks here.
Yep. Do you like to snack, Chandler? Do you like salty and sweet?
And I like dried fruit.
And you like dried fruit. Good segue.
Chandler loves almonds, and he does love dried fruit.
Oh, good.
So,
These are smoky almonds, and they're flavored with seasoned salt.
Okay.
And so they give them that salty, crunchy, but you get good fat and good fiber from the almonds and
Okay.
protein. These are sweet. They've got a little organic sugar and a little cinnamon on them. This gives you the fruit sugar, and the fiber. So a few slices of dried apple or some cherries mixed with your almonds, you can add them to your granola and your
Okay.
parfait, and you get the fruit that you need, and it's dried, so it's portable.
I notice you have one of my favorite foods here.
Butter.
Butter.
Yep.
I actually don't tell people about all the butter I use.
Have you been shamed?
Yes, I've been butter shamed.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
There's no shame in butter. Butter is actually healthy for your body.
Okay.
And we all want our kids to eat more vegetables. So when you're cooking up your carrots or your green beans or your broccoli, the vitamins in vegetables are fat soluble, which means you need to have a fat with your vegetables in order to get those vitamins into your body.
This
So-
is very good news.
It's very good news. So steam your veggies, greatest
Okay.
way to cook them.
Okay.
Little bit of butter, little bit of salt,
Okay.
and kids will love it, and will love it more too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That makes me actually
No more
so
shame.
happy.
Yep.
Talk to me about coconut oil. I've been hearing a lot about this recently as well. What do we use coconut oil for?
Coconut oil can be eaten straight from a spoon. Some people do that. It can be put into a smoothie. It can be spread on your toast. Coconut oil is full of great fats.
Okay.
It's also antibacterial, antifungal, anti-parasite.
Wow.
And it's really healthy for the inside of your body and the outside.
This has been so informational
Oh, good.
and so helpful. I think Chandler has his eye on what's in there.
Do you wanna
wanna
try the
that
smoothie?
smoothie?
And the best thing about kids is they want to learn new things. They want to try new things.
Yes.
They want to make their own food. They want to shop with mom.
Yes.
They all want to. And we think, oh no, it's going to be a nightmare.
And so today we're not talking about tricking kids into
No.
eating foods. We're talking about incorporating it, encouraging them to try, and then they will know that, hey, kale and spinach are good. All right, let me know what you
Here's
think.
the ultimate test.
Dun dun dun. Is it,
Is it good? What do you taste? Tell me what you taste in there.
Wow, it's really like, I don't know.
Fruity? Do you taste this?
I really do taste the berries.
The
He
berries.
really
Yep,
tastes the
that's going to
berries.
be the overriding flavor. You load it
All
up
right.
with berries and throw in some greens.
He's a very choosy eater, so this is going
Sold.
very well here. Yeah, sold. Well, thank you so much, Jill. This
You're
was so
welcome.
helpful. Chan, I think we've learned a lot of new things, right? All right.
You're a great assistant.
If you want to see this full interview or learn more about what Jill told us today, visit us online. Today's toy pick is books. It's really great to keep an assortment of books around the house to encourage emerging readers and also for sharing special moments with your kids, reading out loud together or reading the same book and sharing stories about it after. I've put together here an assortment of books that are great for a variety of ages and interests. The first book I want to talk about is this Indestructible. This is for babies, and what's great about it is it has the look and the feel of paper, which babies love. They like to emulate what older siblings are doing or grown-ups in their lives are doing. So again, this feels like paper. However, it's amazing because it is literally indestructible. Babies can try to tear it or chew on it, and it will not rip or break down. It's one of my very favorite items. I also love the price point on these books. It's right around $4.95. Next, let's move on to a younger reader. I've chosen these books which have great covers. The graphics are really engaging, and this particular book actually focuses on repetition, which is what helps kids learn to read. I've also selected this book, and it's a book about a popular theme, which is bedtime. So picking books that are around themes such as eating or bedtime or things kids want to do or need to do every day is a really great idea as well. Next, I'm going to move on to a book I picked for fact lovers. This book serves up facts in little bits and pieces, which is nice because you don't actually have to read the entire book all at one time. You can simply focus on a specific page. And it also has an interactive component, which is the lift the flap, so you can actually answer your questions or see the information under the flap. And that is really engaging to young kids. Moving on, we've got a treasury of classic stories, Curious George, and that monkey is a favorite of a lot of little kiddos. So this, again, is a bigger book and has a lot in it, but there's many different stories, and it's not, each story really isn't a whole lot to bite off because it's really got big print, illustrations on every page, so it's easy for parents to read and also engaging for kids to look at as the stories are being read. And finally, for a little bit of an older reader, or actually reading tag team, parent and child, I've selected a classic, The Secret Garden. And I love the story of The Secret Garden, first of all, but what I love also is what the manufacturer has done with this particular copy of The Secret Garden and made the cover really engaging, because actually kids do judge a book by its cover. So making a cover engaging will draw them into the book. We'd love to start a conversation with you about the books you read to your kids. Visit us on Facebook and tell us some of your favorite picks or your ideas on how to get kids reading.